All right, our first plenary this morning, I am very excited to introduce. We have Dr. Bhuwon Sthapit with us, and Bhuwon is from Nepal and works with Bioversity International as a senior scientist with them. And Bioversity is a phenomenal organization based out of Rome, and we have learned a tremendous amount of information from them. In fact, when we got our seed bank started about 6 years ago, one of the first things that we referred to was it's called Handbook for Gene Banks, and it was volume 8. I remember the volume. It was so useful, but it basically walks through appropriate seed-saving technologies for anyone wanting to start a seed bank or a gene bank. And that was put up by Bioversity. And they do a phenomenal job helping in seed saving and biodiversity preservation for farmers and communities all around the world. And so Dr. Bhuwon is going to share about some of his experiences with this and what he's learned over the years. So please welcome Dr. Bhuwon.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Abraham, for all this more than enough introduction. Today's my presentation is, in fact, I think Abraham set a scene for us, sharing the Eco Seed Bank initiative also. So probably that will set a scene for this one also. Community seed initiatives is around the world since last 25, 30 years. But it's hardly documented, it's not very sexy thing to talk about, like a dolphin conservation or, panda conservation like that. So it has been in a shadow all the time, at least in terms of CGIAR context, yeah? So I am known as a NGO person within CG system. So you see I feel here is more comfortable. Okay, I think this is how I organize my presentation. I try to be less technical, but some of the theories I will try to explain as well. And also there's some misconception about the community seed bank, informal seed system that the so-called scientist has also. It's important to understand, yeah? And basically I will have some, we have recently reviewed one book on the 35 case studies of community seed bank all over the world. It's published by Artscan, but it will be free online after 6 months. We have to buy it on that. But we missed the eco experience because then I didn't know the Abraham. We happened to meet in Australia in one of the meetings. That's how I'm here. Okay, there are plenty of challenges in the world. Yesterday we discussed on the sustainable intensification time also, poverty, malnutrition, peace, lot of climate change, everything. But to address all those, shrinking agriculture biodiversity is a bigger issue also, because that addresses the things. If you see these things, if you think we have a globally 250,000 identified plant species, we are using 7,000, currently in a different culture, but basically rice, wheat, and maize are the 3 species currently providing 50% of our world energy intake. And if you think about the animal things, also 12 species. You imagine if you always eat the 3 things, we will be very bored if you are even Thai people, So their food is so diverse. So that's a challenge we have. The threat is, because of that, is we have continually pushed towards a monoculture, resulting in a lot of shrinking diversity. We are consolidating of the seed supply into few large seed companies, means we are limiting the source of diversity. We have reduced the funds to public sector agriculture, research, education, and plant breeding. Consequently, we are losing option to meet the public and private needs in order to meet the abiotic stress, dietary diversity and nutrition and food culture, market and cultural demands, and ecosystem health and stability and resilience, whatever you call. Climate change is already happening. Yeah? So I don't want to go detail on that, but also new diseases, new races are also emerging, including famous UG99 in the wheat. We cannot predict which new pest or pathogen will develop or how rain will fall next year. Yeah? But farmers is managing always this by using their diversity. Yeah? Portfolio of diversity, portfolio crop species, portfolio interspecies diversity. That's their asset. And we are slowly taking control of that resources by something others. So that's the challenge. This explains why on-farm conservation can have a key role to address this climate change problem we are facing. So how we on-farm conservation will deal this? When on-farm conservation is, we talk about, is about the farmer seed system or totally seed system. Means on-farm conservation allows to adapt, evolve, and buffer evolutionary breeding. Once the farmers domesticate any plants or seed, or they find an interesting variety, they plant, cultivate, store, and continue to grow that seed. They save the seed. Also, they exchange the materials they put in the market, goes to the seed. And when millions and millions of farmers are doing this kind of things in their small parts of a line, they create a lot of new diversity, which is a good, it's a heritage, and it's a very useful for the ex situ conservation and breeding and seed company also. So two systems are very interlinked. They cannot survive without. That's the on-farm conservation. So means we want to support the process of conservation by allowing what farmers are doing. Yeah? So this, in fact, the whole food source from local system is globally is a 90%, and 10% are from the formal system or seed companies. Means we are putting a lot of donors funding or government funding and the 10%, and 90% is, of course, left alone. So if we talk about the Himalayan mountain food crops from where I am, there's a lot of climate resilient, nutritional dense crops, but hardly some research has been done. If you see these things, a lot of seeds come from the farmer seed system or local system. Only rice or beans are there. So this shows that poor people are not addressed by the formal seed system. Okay, how this managed then? The seed system is managed by the social seed networks, and this is the one of the map. We published recently, and the bigger circle means that they are frequently bigger networks with the nodal farmers. But again, the local system is not perfect. You can see the red one without any networks. They are not connected. I think they are either socially excluded or they are not have a connection with the key people. People are there. Also, there are people with a small network, like two people, So any climate change or anything disaster happens, these people are more vulnerable. So seed system also, local seed system also not perfect. It depends upon specific cultural context. Okay, when we talk about the local seed system, it's not about the quality and access only, in the seed system. Seed system has a 4 key multiple function. It's a germplasm base because it provides diversity, flexibility for selection, seed production quantities, all these things are there, and also associated knowledge about that. So it has a 4 function, whereas formal seed system has a more focus on the seed production quality, all this genetic purity, vigor, germination things. So our concern is basically address community-based conservation area where we conserve local landrace, folk varieties, and community seed bank. These are not very much addressed in international research also, because they are controlled by tribal and rural communities and community-based organizations, whether other in situ conservation or ex situ conservation is controlled by the government or universities. Okay, that's what I showed. The role of community seed banks probably provide a local solution to address the gaps or seed stress we have, because this function as any bank which transacts the seed and knowledge to the local use. Okay, just to give a brief review of what we found is a 35 case study in 25 countries, diverse actors, diverse objectives, that's what we found. We try to review in terms of origin and evolution, function and activities, governance, management and cost issue, technical operation, and support and networking. You are doing great in that chapter would be policy and legal environment and sustainability issue. Because these things has never been reviewed. And we say, from this output, analysis of new scope, opportunity, and collaboration partnership, just out of box initiative, we want to look into it. I think I may need some water. In terms of origin and evolution, in fact, it started from US. Yeah, Dan and Ken Whaley from their wish, they formed the USA-based seed saver network to preserve the heirloom varieties. Yeah, it's something is there, But in 1986, with the seed survival program, this has been initiated in PGR. Thank you so much. I hope I don't spill over your computer. So then a flood of different NGOs in India, Zimbabwe, I came up with this with the USA Canada, IDRC funding. Then, by the way, in 2003, Bioversity International, with the support from Nepalese NGO LIBER, a local initiative for biodiversity research and development, really started with the small funds and a part of the in situ conservation. And also in that time, development fund, Norway, Oxfam, ActionAid, implemented a number of countries. Yeah. So key actor for community seed bank are NGOs are key player in the past. Now government agency is taking interest on this increasingly in South Asia and other countries too. This is how the seed saver network in Iowa. I was visiting there, and maybe yours also looks like that. Okay, analyzing 25 case studies, countries, what we found that conceptually they divided into 4 different roles or function: conservation, access and availability, and both combined, and also 4 is the addition of seed and food sovereignty objectives like a farmer's right. Yeah, and these are the country, case studies are. Regarding governance management costs, most of the case studies have poor governance. I think there's legitimacy is a issue, because how they legitimize within the context of the country regulatory and policy framework is not there sometimes, but some institutions are registered and legitimize their rules and regulation. So this is the area probably we have to look into it. Daily operation and management governed by collective action. Social capital building is a voluntary work, as you said, and drive by empowerment process. And a lot of people criticize for this, how long does this collective action happen. So this is something, so governance issue. It is, also how the accountability, transparency, and leadership by the local leaders happens, and how they assign to roles and responsibility to each committee members. There are some good stories, there are some not. I think building local capacity, another issue in the different technical, administrative, and financial aspect. And usually what we found, how much it costs to establish community seed bank. Most of the case studies are very silent. They don't want to share that. But some of them, it ranges from $1,000 to $10,000, per community seed bank. We found it. 10,000 are those who give the seed money to build all those things. But some successful ones are from $1,000 too. So about the technical operation and issues, basically and the principles are same like any gene bank, technically. So it's basically how you organize locally. Community and site selection is one issue. I will come back to that, because if seed farmer community are not interested, I don't think we should push it, Also the seed network, how it is. Choosing crop species and varieties is another issue. I will talk a little bit, and metrology also, collecting seed and planting materials, storing seed structure methods and monitoring. You can see something done in Nepal in the top things with the local way. They moved, this is the first year. When next year harvest is there, they move to another row, and they maintain the dynamic. And in Brazil, they all store in the alcohol bottle, but that's okay. Choosing crop species and varieties, is basically, if it is a conservation focus, there's a partial analysis method developed where if small areas, few households are growing, you can do the analysis on this. Mostly the 45% of the diversity we manage globally are in that range. Yeah, so those species are rare, either unique or information is not known. I think they should be the focus of the community seed bank. These are already available to us, and there's a commercial sector, and this is also culture very important for community seed bank. So these metrics are available, and the idea is there's a lot of tail of opportunities in the if you really plot the area with the household, few varieties cover the majority, and rest are in the list of diversity. And this is where the opportunity lies in future. Because if you see from a market perspective alone, I think just moving number of varieties to just improving little bit, and it goes to local market and national market. In order to go to export market, you need to develop a lot of capacity and regulatory thing, everything. So I think we a lot of organize and focus on the international market, but the market lies, in the local market. So also, community seed bank has another role. What I see that, in most countries, beans are mixed and maintain many varieties, 4 to 12 varieties in a plot. And consumers enjoy that one. But no seed company distribute the mixed variety. So this is scientifically also very important. But what we found in the pest and disease project is, more richness, diversity is increased, the incidence of disease decrease, like anthracnose. Because the dilution effect, because of avoidance effect, this is the sin. And this kind of mixture and portfolio of crop varieties can be distributed through the community seed bank. So in terms of sustainable intensification, this is one way of doing as well. Why to just concentrate on pesticide? Okay, seed storage issue, I have seen many community seed bank just displaying seed, and if you see there, a lot of insect doesn't germinate, and discredit the community seed bank movement already, many. So issue is principles, we are trying to put the like if you see in South Africa or any other countries in Nepal or other South Asia, they put in the seed in the just top of the kitchen, because it's simple, it reduces the moisture and it keeps the dry. And that's the principle you want in the seed things, whether you measure by the scientific equipment in the seal. I think these are the simple principle. If you explain to the community seed bank people, they can do it, they are doing it, they're not making a lot of complication. 1 degree reduction in seed moisture content, or every 5 degrees centigrade, longevity doubles. So simple principle we need to teach to the farmers. Just also, it doesn't mean that new intervention can change the or influence the community seed bank. What we did is a very simple one. Nowadays, geolite beads are available. These geolite beads in a white one, we introduced with the 10 pairs of blue kit in the mung bean, and you can see in 6 months, without beads, 69% infestation, and with the beads there. And it changed the color once there's a critical level of moisture. So farmers have when to dry, and that could be recycled. It's a simple technology we can introduce to the community seed bank. Now, I don't know how much time I have left. Just to give a Nepal case study as a local solution to improve access to quality seed, safeguard the diverse seed, and secure the food security. Okay. Many countries have, Nepal has more than 115 community seed bank with the varying quality from 0 star to 5 stars. So, if you do the scaling, introduced by different institutions, and we found that either they are the PGR focused, plant genetic resource, local varieties only, or they are seed focused, modern variety only, they multiply and sell, like a small enterprise. But most successful are those who integrate approach, because in order to self-running the seed bank, because government is not able to do all the time. We are also testing some research question on this, because usually in the community seed bank research in CG system, they question, what is your research question? Everybody is doing since last 30 years. What you are doing there? What's the new adding value? What is the research question? So we need to generate this issue also. I'm not going to go into detail on this, but some of the things I will try to answer on that. So in the slide I showed, community seed bank was running since the last 15, 16 years. And I will show why some community seed bank were successful and some are not. I think it's a community driver is one of the issue. Is those I was explaining this in the Bara community seed bank near the Indian border. We have baseline. If you see, land races are declining, modern variety increasing, number of gross of land race also declining, and the area coverage also land race declining, modern varieties. That is the challenge we have. So even if farmers want a local seed, there is nowhere to go because their numbers are reducing. Yeah, social networks are reducing, and the modern variety had an extension agent, seed companies, agrovets, everywhere seed available. Another issue is networks. I showed you. Some of the networks where community seed bank was successful, our social network are very weak, not connected. Yeah. So that's where they are looking for the new local seed from the community seed bank, because that network is weak. Third is the result out of this is a simple. You monitor whether the community seed can serve the poor or medium farmers. And if you can see transaction, percentage transaction happening by poor is quite high, and the number of land race transaction is increasing 28, and if you see the amount of seed is limited, because they want to give only germplasm, not the seed for, Also, it allows them to multiply in their things. So this is the things they can manage themselves. Another thing recently, because they have to, run themselves, they also introduced with the seed multiplication of modern varieties or varieties they have developed through the participatory plant breeding. So now they reached to the 12 ton of 3 varieties, and income from there they support local land risk conservation effort. Okay. Another issue is recently what they have done is they see the capacity of their community seed bank, and they want to safety duplicate in the national gene bank. So they transfer the network of community seed bank to 900 accession of seed to national gene bank. This is the one of the event, and they are taking the seed to the system. And the center one is our national gene bank chief. Another issue, you know that Nepal is hit with the earthquake, and this is something role we never imagined in a community seed bank can play. So almost 10,000 people, and this is a very remote area of 10 district of Nepal. And there are some community seed bank who have some seed multiplication program. They are happily able to provide the seed to the relief program. And this was something, strike to the government. Okay, we should have a community seed bank, then, otherwise they were not able to address these things. And this is something seeds being supplied of around $4,000 US. But when we ask this question to farmers, you are happy with the income? No, their perception that they have a feeling of pride that they are able to help their fellow Nepalese in the time of difficulty. I think this gives a little bit also a positive policy environment for community seed bank in Nepal from the government side also. Another, practice and appropriate, simple, this government, this community seed bank has several meetings, and those meetings sometimes people don't interested just to come and listen, and we engage with the participatory seed exchange. They bring from home some of the seed, whatever they have. It's like your seed swap, that kind of things, and this is very popular, and you can see the dynamics. Also, they are developing some kind of small kits, diversity kits, we call small quantity of seed in one packet, portfolio of varieties, from rare to how it can become a common varieties. Like in diversity fair, this sponge gourd, very aromatic one, found in one household, multiplied in diversity block in 7 households. We have a 70 diversity kit in 2001 in 195. So from rare to it became common. Very simple activities community seed bank can do. And there are thousands such species and varieties. Yeah. So I think these are some good practices, and it can be done by community seed bank, and record in the community biodiversity register or catalog, whatever you say. Okay. Now, just looking into community also doesn't, it can go beyond. Like amaranthus varieties, very rich in mountains. We have a diversity kits of this with all photos given, without, these are the numbers of the accession, all from Nepal, given to farmers for crowdsourcing. So that this big task is taken by smallholder farmers, and we are collecting information, feedback about the variety by mobile. Everybody has mobile nowadays to see which variety has a more. So people can multiply and the extension can distribute. So these things are like a 2001 variety, the community seed bank can do it. Okay, just to summarize, the strengthening local capacity is a major issue for community seed bank. And there's a link with the National Gene Bank and Formal Bean Bank. So basically, I have talked about what diversity we have. We need to know the richness and evenness. Then the system of traditional seed store. You can have a regular diversity fair between communities, multiply the diversity block of rare varieties. They can be registered in the catalog like a community biodiversity register, and also seed and community seed bank also can have an activity of value addition and participatory plant breeding or variety selection or grassroots breeding. which allows farmers to learn how to select the varieties. So it's really strengthened. The whole process is linked, and also you need a national gene bank and formal breeding to link it with that. So basically, what Abraham was saying, that overarching principle of role as community seed bank is, they have to learn from the process, like, different process. Any project has, it's a social learning process, sharing and learning at the community level, so that they can lead whole process. Yeah, and principle behind is each farmer has a knowledge, traditional knowledge. That knowledge cannot be static. You have to improve for betterment, and so that their practice is improved. But you need an institution to facilitate all the process, and community seed bank at a community level can play the role. Government or international organization cannot visible that moment. So this is where you have a mismatch or the link. So we want to try to community seed bank to that. Principles are very simple. Third point, I want to mention is a platform for social learning and collective action. The Bara one, it begin with the seed. Later one, what they are now knowledge. Once their knowledge improved, the dairy cooperative they run. They have a different medicinal plant. So they keep add the new enterprise once their capacity is there. Once we believe that local can lead, okay? So that's the issue where significant change will happen. We have seen sustainability. There's no project there, but still they are doing. There's a lot of innovation taking place, institutional or technical, and it's the way that they can be more resilient. I think with this, I will stop my things, few take-home messages. Thank you. Any question? You are welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bhuwon. We have a few minutes for questions, if there are any questions. Yes?
I can do it loud enough, you don't need the microphone. The large seeds like breadfruit and the sapotacea and a lot of those, can you do anything about storing those?
Sweet potatoes and?
The breadfruit seeds, which are large, and a lot of the sapotacea from Central America with large fleshy seeds, can you store them?
That's the topic my afternoon has. Because I work with the tropical fruit. It has a recalcitrant seeds. It has a different kind of problem. I think we have to think in different way. Farmers are doing already. Why not to recognize them? Instead of bringing all those in the research station in the field gene bank. So this is the topic for my afternoon. Thank you.